morning, everyone. We're going to get started just like usual here, chin tucks and head turns. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, find that length through our spine. We're going to get ready to chin tuck back for 10. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's reset that length through our spine and go to our head turns. Ready? And begin. 1, back to center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're going to continue on with the remainder of our workout, which is going to be for time. For 30 seconds each, we're going to start with our 4-count cherry pickers. So our feet are wider than shoulder width apart. If we're seated, we're reaching outwards. We're reaching towards the middle, and then we're reaching inwards and up. Okay, standing, same thing, reaching outwards, middle, inwards, and up. Okay, let's get ready. And oops, my timer just went off here. There we go. And begin. Here we go. Ooh, that's loud, guys. All right. Here we go. Middle, in, and up. Okay, so I'm stretching out the back side of my body here. Gentle. Remember, we're warming up here, just trying to get our joints moving. We've got 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to go into 4-count chain breakers. This is going to look the same seated or standing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and on 4, we're going to open up. Okay, so squeezing through the back of our shoulder blades for the first 3, and then on 4, getting a nice deep stretch through the front. We have a few more seconds here, then we're going to go into side step squats. 3, 2, and 1. So if you're standing, we're going to step it out to the side, sink it back and down, come back together. Other side. Okay, so we're going to repeat that. If we're seated, lateral tap, leg extension. Okay. The next exercise we're going to do is our backstroke rotations. And once again, this is going to look the same whether we're seated or standing. We're going to start with our hands in front of us. Rotate back. Follow that hand with our eyes and bring it back. Good. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go through it one more time. So back to those 4-count chain breakers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or cherry pickers. Did I say chain breakers? They're next. Feeling lengthening through the back of the body, feeling our hips, joints move here. 3, 2, and 1. All right, chain breakers. 1, 2, 3, and open on 4. Think of squeezing your glutes if you're standing here, okay? Creating a nice stable base of support through the trunk of our body. Side step squats are next. 3, 2, and 1. Remember, it's a lateral tap to leg extension if we're seated. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going into our final exercise, backstroke rotations. And time. Okay, guys, that was our warm up, 4 minutes there. So next we're gonna get into 2 blocks that are 12 minutes, A, B, A, B, A, B, C, D. So we'll have 4 exercises. We'll hit the first 2 for 2 sets, the second 2 exercises for 2 sets, and then we'll put it all together, okay? 2 blocks like that, a quick 4-minute Tabata, and then a chair. We are gonna use our chair. Everybody's gonna use our chair today for our core work, okay? So we'll finish off with that chair and that core work if you're not using a chair throughout your workout, okay? We will use it together at the end. All right, so first block, we are going to do a 3 count hold march, okay? So we're gonna go opposite hand and foot. So if my left leg is up, my right elbow is up. 1, 2, 3, shift. 1, 2, 3, shift, okay? For seated, we'll do the same thing from a seated position. Keep that length through your spine. After that, we are gonna go in goblet squats. We're gonna hold our weight right here at our chest, all right? And we're gonna sink it back into our squat and drive up. If you're seated, alternating leg extensions, okay? Right here. And then we have a goalpost fly. Okay, we can do this with a very light weight or water bottles or no weight, okay? Goalpost fly, and then we also have a lateral lunge, okay? So we're gonna use 2 weights or no weights on either side of our leg as we alternate from side to side here, okay? And if we're seated, we're gonna do just our lateral taps here, okay? Just like this. All right, guys, so starting with that 3 count hold march, whether you're seated or standing, trying to hold on 1 foot for 3 before we shift, okay? Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, switch. One, 2, 3, switch. If you would like a little more of a challenge and you want to reach the opposite hand up, you can, but you don't have to. Pulling that belly button back to spine. Firing up our nervous system for the exercises to come. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're gonna go into our weighted exercise next. So we'll grab 1 weight, we'll put it right here at our chest, but not on our chest. Feet are shoulder width apart, slight flare out in the toes. We're gonna go into our goblet squat or alternating seated leg extension. Here we go. Sink it back and down, chest stays high. I'm pressing through the floor to lift myself back up through the heels of my feet, squeezing my glutes at the top. Belly button to spine. We go from side view here. Good, time check. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going back to that march. That's round 2. Okay, A, B, A, B. 3 count hold. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 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 Switch, keeping that belly button to spine. Switch. 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 Last one. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, nice work. Second set of goblet squats here. Okay. Feet are about shoulder width apart, slight flare out, or you're doing your alternating leg extensions. Ready? And begin. Sink it back and down. Chest stays high, driving through the heels up. Good. We're past halfway. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Second two sets of exercises are that goalpost fly, no weight or very, very lightweight, 1 or 2 pounds here. Okay. Same seated or standing. And then we also have that lateral lunge. Here we go. So this is going to look identical whether you're seated or standing. Think of those shoulder blades squeezing together at the back. And think of a lengthening through the front of the chest and the front of the shoulders. I'm keeping length through my spine. And if I'm standing, I'm squeezing my glutes. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Next exercise. We can take 2 weights. Okay. Or we can do this body weight as well. We're going to lateral lunge or lateral tap. Okay. If you're seated, we're going to tap to the side. Here we go. So we're going to weight on either side of that bent knee. Drive it to center. I don't have a lot of camera room here. And then to the other side. So one leg is lengthened and the working leg is bent. Come to a diagonal here. Halfway. We're pressing up through this leg that's bent here, pressing up to come back to center. Almost there. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Going back to that lightweight, very lightweight, 1 pound or water bottles or no weight into that goalpost fly, standing or seated. We're standing, we're squeezing our glutes. Ready? And begin. Squeezing through the back of the shoulders, lengthening through the front. Keeping in mind that our modern day living, our work and everything makes us a little bit weak through the back of the shoulders and tight through the front as we're driving, sitting at computers, etc., etc. This helps reverse some of that forward lean posture that we all just kind of inevitably acquire over time. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going back to that second set of lateral lunges. Remember, if you're seated, tap it here, okay? Tap it. 2 weights on either side or no weight, okay? Ready? And begin. I'm gonna step it out to the side, my weight's on either side. Drive it back up to center, right? Trying to find an angle that I can get you guys on here. All right, that knee that's bent, that is the working leg. So As you're coming back up to standing towards the center, you're pushing through that heel on that bent knee side. All right. Having that glute and leg assist you back to center. Belly button to spine. 3, 2, and time. All right, guys, we're going to put it all together from the start. So we're going back to that 3 count march. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3, switch. Belly button to spine. Opposite hand and foot. Feel all those little receptors, receptors in your body working. You might feel some wiggling and shaking as you're balancing, right? It's all feedback. Find your balance and time. Good. Okay, so we're going to go into our goblet squats next. Okay, so alternating seated leg extension if you're seated. Otherwise, we're going to hold that weight right in front of our chest, but not on our chest. Shoulder width apart with those feet. Slight flare out. Here we go. So get down and back, chest stays high, drive through the heels and squeeze up. Belly button to spine. Through your range. Just focus on thinking of pressing into the floor with those feet is what's lifting your body up to standing. 10 more seconds. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, going back to that goalpost fly, seated or standing. Length through that spine. If you're standing, squeeze your glutes. Ready? Begin. Squeeze together in the back. Think about that stretch in the front when our elbows are out right here. Okay. Shoulders and hips are ball and socket joints. They have a lot of little connector muscles and everything. So it's really important to pay attention to these prehab, I like to call them, or rehab exercises to help make sure that we're functioning good through these ball and socket joints. Time. Okay. Final one we're doing here is those lateral lunges with 2 weights or no weight, or you're doing those lateral taps. Ready? And begin. Here we go. Really trying to focus on keeping that non-working leg lengthened, right? One knee is bent, the other knee is straight. And I'm thinking of pushing my hip back on that bent knee versus thinking of my knee going forward. I'm thinking of the hip pushing back. Right? We want our heel to maintain contact on the floor, and we do that by pushing the hip back. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, guys. First block, check. Our next block follows that same type of pattern. Okay, 4 exercises. We'll hit the first 2 rounds, second 2 rounds, and then all together. So next set, get your drink while I am talking about it. We're gonna do our classic hinge and row, right? So feet are under hips, toes are forward, right? We're gonna roll the shoulders back and down. This is called packing the shoulders, right? Back and down and hold them there, okay? From there with our belly button to spine, we do our hinge, our row into our pockets, and our return, okay? So one of our classics here. After we do that, that's gonna look the same seated. If you're seated, you're gonna come towards the edge of your chair, okay? You're gonna hinge forward with a lengthened spine, row towards the pockets, complete the row, and then come back up, back down, row, up, okay? After that, we're gonna do a halo. You could use something like a water bottle. You could even use a pillow if weight feels uncomfortable. We're gonna alternate from one side to the other. So we're gonna continue on with our shoulder health today, okay? When we're standing, we're gonna activate a little more of our core here as well, okay? After that, we're gonna do 2 rounds of that. Then we're gonna do a half bicep curl. We're gonna keep those elbows to the rib cage, all right? We're gonna come up to a 90-degree right here on the elbow, all right? And from there, we're gonna take it out, in, down, halfway up, out, in, and down, okay? And then our final one is a ground to overhead. It's going to be wider than shoulder width apart with our stance, right? We're gonna pick something up off the floor and put it on the top shelf, okay? So from the side, picking it up off the floor and putting it away, okay? You can even do this with a pillow, okay? You don't have to use weight here. You can always just think of the movement, right? And being able to keep up with, you know, our joints moving properly, so you don't feel you have to use weight if that feels really complex. You can use something like a pillow, okay? And from our seated position, pick it up and put it away, okay? Pick it up, belly button to spine, put it away. All right, guys, we're gonna start with our hinge and row first and our halo for 2 rounds, okay? So let's get ready here. 2 weights, okay? Feet under hips, toes are forward. Let's get ready and begin. We're gonna roll those shoulders back and down, belly button to spine, hinge, all right? Our chest falls, our shoulders fall at the same rate as our hips push back. When we're hinging right here, we're getting our hamstrings and glutes. And then when we initiate our row right here, we're getting those lats in our upper body, those large back muscles. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next, we're going into that halo. Remember, like I said, you could use a pillow for this, okay? And just use it to wrap around. We're looking for shoulder mobility, okay? Here we go, right? Seated or standing. We're gonna alternate each time. Always coming back right to the center here before we alternate to the other side. Halfway. We're gonna go back to our hinge and row after this, okay? Three, 2, and 1. Okay, back to that first exercise. All right, so we're working our lats and the back side of our legs and glutes here. All right, so feet under hips, roll shoulders back and down, core engaged, ready? Here we go, push the hips back, shoulders fall at the same rate, row it. And now finish the hinge. Belly button to spine the whole time. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. Next. Whew. Back to those halos. Remember, use a pillow if it feels better. Sometimes if you're dealing with pain or anything like that, 3, 2, 1. Just focusing on range of motion and forgetting about the weight. Just focusing on the range of motion through your joints can be a good place to start. If you're seated with me this round, you're just thinking of maintaining that length through your spine. And if you're standing, you're squeezing your glutes here. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, we are moving on to our second pair of exercises. So we're doing those half curls with our external rotation first. Okay, so seated or standing here, taking those elbows up to 90 degrees. Here we go. So up to 90, right? When I'm at 90 degrees, out, in, down. Keeping those elbows close to the body. If you're standing, keep those glutes squeezed. Halfway. Almost there. 5 more seconds. 2, and 1. Okay, so next exercise is our ground to overhead. So we'll take one weight. Remember, you can use a pillow here too. You can be seated. We are coming wider with our stance here, wider than shoulder width. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead, pick something up, put it on the shelf. Now that that weight's in your hand, you don't actually have to put it down on the floor, right? And if you notice, just like our hinge and row, you see my hips are pushing back. My shoulders are dropping down at the same rate as my hips, right? So I can pick that object up and make sure that my glutes and my strong lower body is involved in lifting this object up, right? We don't want to just think of the hands lifting this up and putting it on the shelf. 2, and 1. Woo, okay. We're going back to that bicep curl to external rotation. Seated or standing here, okay? Remember, if you're standing, you are squeezing those glutes. Here we go. Begin. 90 degrees, out, in, back down. Halfway point right now. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Back to that ground overhead. Okay, we're gonna pick it up and put it away. Remember, this is gonna look the same seated. We're still wider than shoulder width with our feet here. Ready, and begin. So my hips push back, my chest falls at the same rate, so I can pick it up. Using my glutes to rise back up. My shoulders come up at the same rate as my glutes are coming back up, right? So they go down the same, they come up the same. Think of your hips and your shoulders as one fixed unit. Ten more seconds, and we're gonna go all the way to the top, put the 4 together. 2, and 1. Okay, guys, all the way from the top. We're going back to our hinge and row, okay? So our lats here with the row, our backside with the hinge. Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Roll shoulders back and down, core engaged, hinge. Pull the weights up towards the pockets. Complete the hinge. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and time. All right, all done with those, okay? So now we are moving on to our halos. Remember, lightweight or a pillow, a water bottle, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Rotating up and around. If you're standing, we're gonna hold on to squeeze our glutes for that nice stable base in our trunk. You're seated with me, we're maintaining that length through our spine. And our main focus is, think of the shoulder joint, think of mobility, right? We're not forcing things to go past their edge of where they want to go, but we're working with our range, right? And trying to make it a little more pliable. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we are onto that bicep curl with external rotation, seated or standing here. Ready? Squeezing those glutes if you're standing, and begin. Here we go. So 90-degree bend at the elbow, bring it out, in, down. Good. Past halfway, 15 more seconds here. Woo. We've got one more exercise after this, that round it overhead. Almost done. 3, 2, and 1. Got that set. All right. Final exercise for this block, and then we're going to change our format up, okay? Ground it overhead, wider than shoulder width. Here we go. Ready, and begin. We're going to hinge, shoulders drop the same rate as the hips go back. Put it on the shelf, okay? Remember, if you have any discomfort, you could always use a pillow and just try to work through the mechanics of the movement without weight. See how it feels for you. Of course, if you feel any sharp or stabbing pain, we would go ahead and omit that. But if you're just a little bit of exercise discomfort, let that work through that. Okay, and time. Good. Woo! All right. Recover, get a drink. We're moving into Tabata next. Okay, 2 exercises. This is a 4-minute block. 2 exercises. 20 seconds of work. 10 seconds of recovery in between those sets. We'll have 2 exercises, okay? So the first one we're gonna do is lateral and cardio. Okay, so we're gonna do our slip rope squat. So remember, that's when we imagine there's a rope that's about shoulder height, right? That we have to go under and over, okay? Under and over. Our head needs to clear that imaginary rope, okay? So if we're seated, we're gonna keep our stance wide, and we're gonna do the under and over with a lengthened spine, just like this, okay? Feel that nice massage through the spine. as we rotate from side to, or arc from side to side. And then our second one, we are doing tricep kickbacks, okay? So we're gonna hold our weights in either hand, okay? We're gonna work the back of our arms here. Elbows stay close to the body, okay? And we're in this extended position. This is when we're really contracting this muscle in the back of the arms, okay? So that is our second exercise. 20 seconds, we're gonna alternate between those two for 4 minutes. So seated, same thing with that kickback. You're just gonna make sure that your chair can, if you can, maybe if you're seated, if you feel like your chair is in the way, maybe one weight overhead like this is a better option for you, okay? So see if your chair seems to be in the way of your kickback, maybe try that overhead with one dumbbell. All right, guys, we're gonna get started here with that slip rope squat first. 4-minute block, okay? Our heart rate will go up a little bit here. Let's get ready, seated or standing, in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So there's that imaginary rope. I gotta duck under and over. Move at a pace that works for you, okay? We're all different. You just wanna feel that weight transfer from one side, from one leg to the other. And time, okay. Kickbacks, all right? So hinge, elbows close to the body, belly button to spine. Here we go. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, back to those slip rope squats in 5, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Under and over. Shift the weight from one leg to the other. Boom. There's a little moment in time when we're standing where you're only on one foot. It's just for a second, right? As you bring the other one closer to the foundational one, the stabilizing one. 2, and 1. Back to kickbacks. All right. Hinging, elbows are at rib cage, belly button to spine, and let's kick back. Feel that mind muscle connection in the back of the arm. Two, and 1. Okay, back to our slip rope squats. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Under and over. Two, and 1. Okay, kickbacks. All right, let's forward hinge, belly button to spine, elbows up. Here we go. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, final set here, okay? Final set, slip rope squat. 3, 2, and 1. Under and over. Whew. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, final set of kickbacks here. Then we're gonna move on to our final block, which is a core block. We all will be using our chair for this one. Final set of kickbacks. So here we go. Right in. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, nice work. 4-minute block right there, short and sweet. Okay, and now our final block, we're gonna do a 30-10. So we're gonna start with our chair here. Our first exercise we're gonna do, what we wanna think about, I'm gonna show you from 2 ways, is being on the edge of our chair so that we have room to lean back and scoop through here, okay? So I'm gonna show you what that looks like from that side profile too, okay? So from the side, we're kind of working our core because we're leaning back, we're pulling that belly button in, and we're kind of rounded through our spine right here, okay? If you need to put a pillow behind your back for a little added support so that you can maintain that, please feel free to, okay? We don't want any discomfort, just a little, maybe exercise discomfort, but no pain, right? Okay, so our first exercise in that scoop with the pillow, if you need it, straight arm, pull down, and we're gonna think of that opposite knee raising up. Okay, so this is our first exercise. We're gonna do that for 30 seconds, okay? And then from there, we are going into 30 seconds per side, okay, with that scoop. Our second exercise is going to be a straight arm leg lift with a straight arm touch on the same side. So this is my left hand and my left leg working at the same time, okay? All right, so we're gonna do that. And then the same thing on the other side. And then after that, we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're gonna put our palms together this way, and we're just gently gonna sway from side to side without overextending ourselves, okay? We wanna keep that length through the spine, feel our obliques working. After that, we're gonna do the same thing, but overhead. We can do like our pointer here, okay? And we're gonna rock, sway from side to side, just like so. Our final one, we're going to do a hold, okay? So we're gonna hold in that C curve, okay? Our arms are gonna be up. If we need to just hold like this, we can. 10 seconds will be here. If you feel strong, the next 10 seconds we'll lift the other leg, and then the last 10 seconds, we'll put that one down and lift the other, all right? Just follow my lead through this one. We're gonna start with that straight arm, pull down, and knee raise. Have that pillow for your back if you need it. Let's get ready, guys. In that C curve, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, guys. So scooping. Think of that exhale. Every time you exhale, think of that air leaving your belly. Right, make that contraction through your midsection. Halfway through this one. 3, 2, 1, okay? We got 10 seconds, you can reset. We're gonna go back into this C curve, and we're gonna straight arm, straight leg on the same side. 3, 2, and 1, back to that C curve. Your fingertips and toe don't have to touch. We're just, as one leg goes up, that arm comes toward that, those fingertips come towards it, okay? Ten more seconds on this side. 2, and 1. Woo, feel that? All right. Other side. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Oh, I think I just realized I forgot to put one. I forgot to mention one in our circuit that I'll put in right before we do our hold, the very last one I talked about. 10 more seconds on this side. 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're gonna get a little break from that C curve now. So now we're gonna hold that length up through our spine. Our palms are gonna be on either side. This is not a huge range of motion here. Ready? Here we go. We're gonna exhale, twist. Every time you twist, try to feel those obliques working. through that rotation. Length through that spine. 2 and 1. Okay. We're going to do the pendulum again, but we're going to do it from overhead. Sometimes it's easier if we hold this little like pointer finger. Okay. We're going to think of that length. Here we go. Not forcing anything, but just feeling those nice side bends. Feeling a nice stretch underneath your shoulder too, around that armpit area. So not only are we working obliques, but we're getting this nice little side body stretch, maintaining our length. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, here's the one that I forgot to put in there for you. We're going to do our seated dead bug. So what it's going to look like is opposite hand and foot. Okay, so we're going to go in that C curve. Two and 1. Okay, bring it up. What we're going to do next is that hollow hold here. Okay, so we're just going to hold for the first 10 seconds, scooped with our heels on the ground here, arms overhead. Here we go. We're rounding, pulling that belly button back. If you feel just good right here and want to stay here, do that. Otherwise, if you feel like you're got a little more in you, we're going to lift one foot up right now, holding it, other heels on the ground. We're going to switch sides. 3, 2, 1. Put that one down and lift the other. Belly button to spine. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're going back to the top, guys. We got one more round. Okay. Going back to that straight arm pullover with opposite knee. Here we go in that scooped position. Final set through. Really think of exhaling as that knee comes up and those arms pull down, pushing the air out of your stomach. Three, 2, and 1. Whew, okay. Go ahead and stretch it out here. We're going to go to that same side, that same arm pull down, same straight leg, okay? Here we go. In that arc, we're rounded. So we're staying scooped and rounded. So our core is really working to keep us in this lean back state here. We're working our hip flexor really hard here too. All right, if you need a little extra recovery, I totally get it. It hurts. 3, 2, and 1. Wowza. Round 2 is a little tougher. Okay, we're going to set up for the other side. Here we go. I'm going to scoop it back and in 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Making that C curve through the spine. I'm keeping that belly button pulled back. We will get a little relief from this lean back position. Max 3, 2, 1. Whew, okay. So now we're going to sit up nice and tall with that length. Okay, we're going to go back into those lateral pendulums here from this horizontal position. Here we go. Keeping that length. It's not a huge rotation because we're keeping these palms together. But if we're sitting up nice and tall through our spine and focused on that exhale, you should feel those rotational, those obliques. Three, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. We're going to do that again, but from our vertical position. So we'll put that little pointer finger position here. We're going to lengthen overhead, find that length through the spine, and just we're going to tick-tock back to side here. No forcing. And think of exhaling to center. Getting a nice shoulder stretch while we're working these obliques and spine. 5 more seconds here. Then we're going to go to that dead bug. 2, 1. Okay, we're going back to this seated curve. Okay, so we're going to opposite hand and leg is coming together. Here we go. There we go. Holding that lean back, trying to stay really still through my trunk. Five more seconds here. Then we're going into that hollow hold with the option to lift each leg. And time. Good. Final exercise, guys. Okay, so we're going to get into that lean back. 30-second hold. Okay, we're going to start for 10 seconds with both feet on the ground. Here we go. All right, arms up overhead. First 10 will hang out here. If you find this is good enough, we'll stay right here. If you want a little more of a challenge, let's get ready. And we're going to lift one foot up here. Pulling that belly button to spine. Let's get ready to switch. 3, 2, and 1. Other side here. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, guys. Okay, let's take a moment to stretch out here, okay? And we'll use the back of our chair here with a forward fold on the chair here, okay? So we'll stretch out through our shoulders and hips with our palms on the back of our chair here. And it's up to you. You can stay nice and still, or if you want to add a little bit of gentle movement through your hip swing side to side, you can, but only if it feels right for you. Feel the stretch through our shoulders, our spine, our back, the backs of our legs. Good. All right, we'll come back up from here. All right, let's get the sides of our neck here, pulling and pressing. And when you're ready, same thing, other side, pulling and pressing. Good. And then we'll do one more for our glutes here. We'll do our figure 4, so we can sit here. We'll flex this foot, length through the spine. It's a very small lean forward, okay? And you should feel that stretch on that glute, on that bent, on this bent leg here, okay? It's not a lot of movement forward though. Good. When you're ready, before we go to the other side, we'll just do our ankles here. So flex and point for 5 and then circles 5 each direction. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So crossing that leg over, we'll flex that foot, length through the spine. Very minimal bend forward with that lengthened spine, but we should feel that glute. Good, and then from here, flex and point 5, circles 5 each direction. All right, guys, and last but not least, let's take a couple breaths here. Inhale up, exhale, palms together, one more time. And all right, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed the workout today, and if you have any questions or anything, I'll try to help you guys.